Kia ora from Aotearoa. It's Poppy speaking, and we're just about near the end of the NIGHTWAVE in 3 water. This has been a very purifying time, a very emotionally sensitive time, and almost near the end of the 9-day phase of 12 knife, where lots of clarification has been coming through, especially as we have been enlightened very much in the Sun Tracina. Personally, being a NIGHTWAVE, it's more of an internal job. We will be going into the new day wave soon, which will be 8 Deer, and this is going to be very much about our strength and fortification. But today I just wanted to talk a little bit about really what it is coming into Unitary consciousness, the whole journey, which has been taking a long time. Look, I'm only going as far back in history as the creations of the calendar systems and astrology, which were after 3115 BCE, which was like the patriarchal era, where many impositions and psychological operations have been used to separate humanity basically from themselves, because we are of nature and we are also of source. So the separation has been to try to disconnect us from all of these things, and it's been a consciousness of conflict and duality. So this is kind of like the aspects of source. So source is everything. There's the light of source, which we're connecting into through the Mayan calendar. And then, of course, there's the dark aspect of source, where we've had all kinds of problems. Okay, so with the Gregorian calendar and astrology, this is very much based on linear time and Satanism, which was really about the black sun, which is where Saturn was designated as the lord of time in astrology. This moved consciousness away from the source light and more into what we're enforced or told to believe through that era, where science and education and religions dominated humanity and became a thing, and that it was religion that was driving control, the scientific discoveries that were guiding control, and then public education. All of these things are like timelines. They are like impositions that were put upon the natural human being. I mean, the natural human being, writing and the written word is not really even a part of nature. That's kind of like an abstract structure or something that's put on top of humanity. And so much has actually been learned through the written word and through the spell casting, spelling, basically. Yeah, so these impositions were very much put in place through trauma. And with the trauma, that creates like an emotional attachment to the imposition or to the timeline, which is not in keeping with our natural being. So we will be left with emotional charge and triggers. And so it is mind control programming for everybody, based on where there are hierarchies, archons, which are governors, governance, politics, all this kind of things. And these are entanglements with timelines that are in conflict to our natural being, which of course ends up reducing our lifespan, causing stress, tension and pain. So for us to thrive now, it's really about detaching from these timelines based on the programs and trauma that were imposed on our being, And so it's all been really very much about healing the trauma. It's like being stuck in a timeline, being lost in time, being stuck in linear time, because the trauma has caused this emotional charge that triggers, and that's where our consciousness is going to stay. So, in healing ourselves, we will come to remember impositions. These will rise to the surface. I mean, a lot of these things, like when we're looking at MK Ultra, the memories never went to the hippocampus where memory is stored. Instead, there was interferences that actually stopped that, and that kind of sealed those traumas into compartments in our brains. So, but part of the human condition is that we have a brain, which is like it's like a biocomputer. But also part of being human is that we have access to the whole field of source as well from our being, which resides on every dimension. But because we are human and we have this brain that's been affected by traumas and timelines, these impositions, these are sort of what kind of makes us undergo these timelines or trajectories, which can be very painful, very filled with suffering, and it's been kept in place to perpetuate more suffering, more timelines, and to be further stuck in timelines and impositions. So we can, and part of my healing, because there was a lot fractured off from me from traumas and interferences that meant that things were not in my conscious memory, but they were still held in compartments in my brain. And I speak to Source, I ask Source, please show me and break down these barriers, because I want to experience the fullness of my being without all these impositions, without all these false constructs upon my natural being. And in doing that, I have been going through an extensive long time of recovering memories of abuse, and all humans have had it. It's been kept in place for the purposes of governance and slavery. So in remembering the impositions, of course, then you're connected up with the emotional charge, and also the residual pain and tension and sickness and disease that can be held in the body. But in doing this process, then you come to detachment from the programs, the entities, whatever has usurped our being. It's very much how it's even usurped the Earth's being, these interferences that have stopped the fullness of that being, that beautiful being, from really rising and being all that she is. And this is the same with the human being, is that all these timelines and impositions have usurped us. And as we release all this emotional charge and release these programs and the entities and the technology and everything that is connected to it, then we enter into being in the now. And being in the now is a state of being free of all impositions and timelines. Now, there are all kinds of technologies and things that have been put in place. There's frequencies, and there's all kinds of geoengineering and lots of things that affect humanity. But from the place of our being, we are able to build ourselves, but to be just absolutely so filled with source light and so connected to nature, including the nature of our being, that we can build this very strong toroidal field around us, very much like the earth has a toroidal field, which is a protection, so that when these timelines will come at us, or these impositions will come at us, it's like they'll be literally burnt off us. And so this is the thing is to keep a very, very strong field, which is absolutely filled with the source light, like inviting in that source light and just filling ourselves in it, because we are fractals of source, we are part of source, we have full access to source, we can ask source any question and receive the answers as we meditate and as we find that way to access that. So then after that, when we are more free, or when we are free of all these timelines and all of these impositions, then we are free on a co-creation which is based upon our natural being. And that now is a part of unitary consciousness, where we will be naturally co-creating within natural law, and that is due to the connection that, to nature and the source light. Like, it's something that will just become absolutely natural to us as we return to our natural and organic state, which is free from all of these frequencies and everything that can be put over us. Now, the power of the source light is the ultimate strength. So everything is possible with that. And when we are there, we will have clear discernment. We will experience states of love, joy, and peace and freedom, and balance and harmony with the whole source field, the whole universe, everything that exists. So within source, there is everything, every trauma, everything is there as well. But we can all bring that into a harmony and a balance where we become aware, like as in unitary consciousness, we are aware of the sentience of everything. We are aware of all of nature, and we naturally will be harmonizing and balancing. And this is something that we're going to be growing into. So yeah, I just really wanted to cover that today and really encourage people and myself that this source light is the answer to our everything, to being our natural human being, which is one with nature. And then we create through this consciousness, which can create a new earth type reality where there will not be any more of this suffering and no more of these impositions and timelines. It takes as long as it takes. Everybody contributes. And yeah, so let's really be with this beautiful nature, the source light, being our full human being, experiencing here. So much love to you.